It's the latest with Maya.
Yeah.
It's the latest with Maya.
Okay.
Who's she gonna talk to now? What's she gonna ask about?
Perfect. Hi, Jeremy. Welcome to the latest with Maya. Jeremy Connor is a stunt performer and coordinator who's worked on Legacies, The Originals, Vampire Diaries, War with Grandpa, Pitch Perfect 3, The Nice Guys, Royal Pains, and so much more. Most recently, Jeremy is Ghostface in Scream 7. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to be talking with you again.
Thank you, Maya. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm very excited myself. It's a nice day out. I'm glad to be able to sit here and have a conversation with you. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, so what's been the most challenging stunt you've performed?
Ooh, the most challenging stunt I performed. There's one stands out in my mind. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. There was a movie called Greenland with Gerard Butler, and in the movie, he's there. The whole premise of the movie is they're trying to get to Greenland because it's the one safe space on Earth that's not being attacked by asteroids. Like everything's kind of getting hit, and so he's stowed away in a truck under a canvas cover, and the truck's going down the road, and there's like 9 guys in the back, and the fight breaks out in the back of this truck, and so the guy that's driving gets distracted, and he hits another truck sideways on the road, like kind of sideswipes him, and then he spins out, and the truck comes to a 180-degree slide, hits the side of the curb, and everybody falls out of the back. Well, I had to drive the truck and do the hit with everybody in the back of the truck. So I had 9 guys in the back of this. It was a 1-ton dually truck, stake bed, older truck, and I had to do a 50-mile-an-hour 180 with no e-brake and just kind of whip it around and make sure nobody got hurt. I'm sorry, that's my dog. And
Okay.
he so I threw that out there, and I had 9 people in the bed of the truck and had to do that, and we had one shot at it, and it worked out, so we did that. That was probably the most intense you feel, because it's not necessarily my body on the line for that one. It's a bunch of other people that have their body on the line, but it's my performance that is they're relying on to not get hurt, and so that probably puts a different level of pressure on than anything I would have done for myself. So that was probably the most pressure I felt in doing a stunt, but it was able to it was done, and we got it, and everybody was safe, and everything was great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think stunt work is so fascinating and so cool. So
Thank you. It's a fun job. What I like about it is the variety, because you're always trying to put another puzzle together. You're trying to build action to tell a story, and then you have all these factors and variables involved, whether it's performances or your environment or how to tell the story or how to make it a little bit different than somebody that's told that story before. And so you're trying to put all the puzzle pieces together to create a piece of action that, like I said, can forward the story. We call it, nonverbal dialogue. Like everything that we do in action is we're still trying to forward the story, even though you're not always verbal with it. And but you want to make that action tell you the story as we go forward and learn something about the character or the world that it's set in or something like that. And so building that and putting those pieces together and performing that is it's always, it gets a rise out of me. I enjoy it thoroughly.
oh wow, that's so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how do you get in the right headspace before performing a stunt?
Typically it's about focus. You want to visualize what you've rehearsed, if there has been rehearsals, and everything that you've done to hit the certain markers. Kind of like when guys are racing, usually you've practiced the track and you have certain marks you want to hit on the track so you can be as fast as you can. And in stunts, you have certain, I guess, sections that you want to make sure everything kind of is going right. But you also have to be aware of when things don't always go the way you plan to, and you've got to be able to react to that. So you kind of have to know what your contingencies are if something gets out of place, where like if the difference is big enough that you can keep going, how do you keep going? If the difference is big enough that you need to stop for safety's sake and reset, then stop. And you got to do all those calculations in your head while you're going. So everything has to be super focused. I don't have any ritual or planned something. I'll usually, when we're getting lined up to do it, I'll just visualize all the things I've done it and done it the right way. And I don't try to ponder on things that could go wrong. I try to visualize the right things and just be aware of how to pivot if things do go wrong. But it's more of just trying to stay focused. I don't hype myself up or get to it too nervous. I just try to stay even keel and focused and go forward with it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So who has had the biggest impact on you professionally?
Professionally, several names come to mind. When I got started early in the business, there was a group that I worked with in live shows, and they got me started. And it was there was a guy, his name was Dave Kramer, and Phi Nguyen, and uh, it was a man. Grady Bishop passed away several years ago, and he was the driving aspect of it. I kind of got involved with him. So they got the ball rolling for me. And so I started like, hey, I want to do this for a living. And then actually the stunt coordinator for Scream 7 is Jennifer Badger, and she stuck her neck out for me hugely when Vampire Diaries started. She was the double for the lead that played Elena, and so she had recommended me to the stunt coordinator John Copeman for Vampire Diaries to that I would make a good double for the Damon character. And so I got to go up there and do that, and it worked out, and the ball started. So I owe a lot to her and John. And then as that progressed, and then she ended up stunt coordinating the first season of Originals. First, it was Bob Fisher, which I met up here in Atlanta as well. And so him and Jennifer have been a big part of my stunt career coming up as well. And then Dave Morzo took over at Originals the second season, and he was a fight coordinator for Chuck and Alias, and he went back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in LA, and so he had done all these shows. And when he started coordinating, he kept me as the stunt double on Originals, and him and I started working together a lot. So the last 10 years, I've done a lot of work with him. I've been his assistant coordinator for probably 4 or 5 shows, maybe the last 6 or 7 years. So I've probably spent the most time with him. I've learned an immense amount of professionalism and processes from him, as well as Jennifer and John and those guys. So it takes a village. Like in a stunt community, we're always kind of working with different people. So I have several I would consider mentors that have kind of or came into the business before I was here and brought me up coming through it. And but the last 10 years, I say I've spent the most time with David, and we've become very good friends, and we like to do a lot of our shows together if we can. And then Mark Omez is another guy that he does a lot of rigging stuff. He's taught me a ton. He's put me on probably 100 wires and thrown me around through the air, but he's always kept me safe, and I've learned a lot of the rigging side of things through him. Even though I don't rig a lot, I kind of know what I'm getting. I know how to see what I'm getting into when I'm being put on something, and that's a huge benefit to know if what you're putting yourself at risk for. And so he's been really great too. So I would say there's a good half dozen to a dozen people that I really attribute my growth into at different stages in my career. And so and I've learned from everybody. Every time I'm on a job, I learn something. So I learn what to do. I may learn what not to do in certain situations and stuff like that. But or say, not necessarily that it's a bad thing, but maybe that wouldn't work for me. I can look at that and go, that works for them, but I don't think I would want to do that way. That wouldn't work for me. I want to do it like this, or maybe I would change that and stuff like that. So every opportunity that you're working, it's a learning process. I'm always growing and learning. And so I'm always, even people that may have been in the business only the last 5 years, they may have done something innovative that I'm like, hey, I really like that. I should learn from that.
Yeah.
Just because I'm 20 years into it doesn't mean that I know everything at all. So
Oh, I love that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's so cool. Um, yeah, so who has had the biggest impact on you personally?
Personally, um, probably David, Jennifer, not far behind them. We've grown a lot as, like I said, our friendships over the years. We've grown. Like I'm a very faith-based Christian belief in myself for me and my family, and Jennifer's. We've always we'll pray before big stunts when we'll do it. We'll have a team together and we'll make sure we want to get together and put our faith elsewhere so that we know that we're trying to put our safety in God's hands in a way. And so that's been a big thing. And David and I also share faith conversations. We'll share philosophical conversations. We'll share professional conversations and just friendship. Or we'll just talk sports and enjoy like being around each other. So David and I have like I said, it's more than just a work relationship. We're friends, and I hope that I can always be there for him if he ever needs me. I feel like he's always there for me if I ever need him. And so building that like a personal relationship is far greater than just working together, you know?
Yeah,
So mhm.
definitely. I love that. Yeah.
Thanks.
So what small things bring you joy on a daily basis?
Oh, small things on a daily basis. Just I love watching my family grow, how they have my kids. When I started doing Vampire Diaries back in 2009, my daughter wasn't even born, and my son was just 1 years old. And so as I've progressed through this career, he's now 17. He'll be a senior next year. My daughter's 15. She gets her driver's license in May. I'm watching these young adults now come into their own, and so they've got to come out and do some training things with me, and seeing them become the young adults that they are is it's always like you're like wow, it's surreal in a sense. And so I get joy in watching them grow. I get joy in spending time with the family and all that kind of stuff, but I also get joy in working in because like I said, all those puzzles. So if I can go do a job and I'm trying to figure something out and we create something that it like as far as say Scream 7 and working with Jennifer that whole time, um, I watched the movie and I'm really proud of the action sequences that she and Noah Garrett was the fight coordinator for that they designed and we were able to perform. And I feel like they do lend to that story. And not that they weren't without challenges as we were going through them, but when you see it all come together in the final product and you're like, man, that was fun to do, and I'm glad people like it. That's fun. Like saying the process for me is fun. So it's not just about the when it comes out. It's the process of doing it. I just have a blast.
Yeah. Oh, I love
Hmm.
that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there a movie world that you wish you could live in?
Ooh, let me think. I don't know. Because there's always drama, right? I've tried
Yeah.
to keep my life drama free, and so when we're talking about movies, there's always drama. Like, do I want to deal with that drama in real life?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've never thought of that. Would I want to be there? You know what? Sci-fi has always been a like I'm a fan of sci-fi stuff, just that alternate like universe, space travel kind of thing, which is pretty neat. So I guess a sci-fi movie, like whether it be one of the Star Wars, is really cool. Now, obviously, they didn't go without their times of of distress and things, but just being able to travel from planet to planet and see different things, that seems like it would be really cool. So maybe in a Star Wars world, that would be fun, as long as
Oh,
the Empire wasn't too far in control.
yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you have a favorite? What would you like to?
I would like to live in a rom-com.
The rom-com world?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's my dream.
right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
when you always know the happy ending is coming, even if there is problems, right?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Right? That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, like this morning I woke up and it was snowing outside, and snow is my
Oh,
favorite, and it hasn't really snowed this year, so I was very excited. And I was like, it's
that's awesome.
perfect weather for a rom-com moment. So
That's
I
great.
yeah.
Awesome. I'm not a fan. I like the snow for about 4 days and I'm done with it. I'm like, I want it to be warm again. So I'm blessed right now that in Atlanta we don't have a cold snap right now. I feel like it's luring me in with this nice, warm, sunny weather, and then it's gonna snap back down to 20 for a week next week, and then I don't think it's gonna do that, but it might, and it always gets you set for spring and then snaps you for a cold snap real fast.
Oh.
But I'm glad you have your snow. I'm glad you're loving it. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so what has been the biggest obstacle, either personally or professionally, that you've overcome?
Oh, professionally, I would say, this business is in the show business in general, you're always looking like the work is the fun part. The when you have work, the work that you put in is in between getting the work. You know what I'm saying? You're always doing the work to get work. And then once you're working, that's the fun part. And so I think I've been blessed to overcome times of when work wasn't prevalent, to be able to put in work to try to get that next job. And then if once you're working again, you feel like you've cleared that hurdle. You're like, okay, we can keep going. We're doing it. I'm still in this business. I'm going. So, because you always feel like if it goes long enough, you're like, am I gonna ever work again? Will I work again? And so, after the strikes, during the strike year and after the strike, it was like I think I worked like 8 weeks in 2 years. And then I got the call from Jennifer for Scream, and then you're like, oh, okay, we're on. We can do this. And then you get a good section of time where you're working and you're figuring it out, and like, yes, this is what I was made to do. So those are some of the hurdles. And then personally, it's keeping my faith where in a space that I want it to be in, because when you start, especially in this business, it's you start looking at like, hey, I did this. Oh, I look what I made. We did a movie, and look what the stunt that I did there. And you start looking about what you did and not what God has provided for me sometimes. And so I feel like I stumble a lot in that. Like I get caught up on what I'm either done or trying to do, and not like just giving it up and saying, use me where you want to use me. And so I try to focus on being a light wherever I go. I don't preach at people kind of thing. I don't feel like that typically is is my calling, in sense of I need to, like, you let everybody know what their faith should be. I feel like, if I can live my life and makes me go, well, why did you make that decision, or why did you do that? And then I can say why I choose what I choose, and let that be its own testimony about if somebody wants to um, look for that in their life the way I have, then I can be that light to guide them, and that's my goal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am a pop culture obsessed,
Hmm.
and I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Ooh. So shows, I don't do a lot of series because I get random, like, I'll watch it for 3 episodes, and then I'll get busy and I won't watch it again for 6 or 8 weeks, and I'll forget what happened. I go back and start it again. And I'm really a guy that likes to watch a movie. So I get all my closure at that movie, and then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm moving on to the next thing. And so I'm kind of a movie guy, but series wise, we were starting something. And like I said, we got 3 episodes in, and I haven't got back to it. What were we watching? I started Tulsa King not too long ago. And we got most of the way through the first season, and then I started traveling for some stuff for some of the promo stuff for Scream, and I was out of town, so my wife and I hadn't got back to it. But it was interesting. I feel like I'm almost done with the first season, and so I might have to go back and check that out. I like that a lot. And then um, no, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head that I've watched recently that has caught my attention like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, what's been your favorite
Hmm.
movie that you've seen recently?
Favorite movie that I've seen recently
Yeah.
is I go back and I watch a lot of old stuff that I like things that I saw when I was a kid a lot of times. But Scream is actually on the list, and it only for the fact that I'm so proud of the work we put into developing the action for that. And Kevin wrote a great script. I think it's great. I think the movie is fun. I don't feel like I was in there for 2 hours, and that's what an entertainment kind of movie is. I did the same thing like Fall Guy with with Glenn. Yeah, it's I went in knowing it wasn't gonna be like the original Fall Guy that I watched when I was a little kid. That was the series, and that was a really fun movie to watch, and so I enjoyed watching that. And then I watched actually The Running Man with that he redid recently. Glenn Foster did, Glenn Powell, sorry,
Yeah.
did The Running Man, and because I was when I was a kid, the Arnold Schwarzenegger version, I was like that was 80s action for me. I was all about it. And so I watched it, and that was fun. My son and I sat down and watched that together, and we had a good time. It was really really fun to watch. So I like my action. Like I said, it's sci-fi, it's action, it's stuff like that. I really like it.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, yeah, I loved the Fall Guy, and I'm
Right.
so excited to see Scream 7 and Running Man. And I
That was
don't
really
face.
cool. I did think of a series. Did you see Chad Powers at all? Have you heard of that?
Oh, I saw one episode, and I've been
One
meaning
episode?
to go back to it.
I watched Chad Powers because I'm a football fanatic, and so that one was fun. I thought it was a good. It was good. It was kind of I felt like it was short, like the season was short. I felt like it could have gone, but they just finished shooting season 2, so I don't know when that's going to drop for Hulu, but they just finished shooting season 2, so I'm excited for that to come out, and I will probably check that out when it does. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
Glenn Powell is in one of my favorite rom-coms.
Oh, which one is that?
It's Anyone But You.
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but my wife loves rom-coms, and so I usually have to watch one with her at least once a week.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I go in phases where I watch a ton of movies, and then there's like
Hmm.
so many shows that I want to watch, so then I'm watching
Right,
a ton of shows and not really any movies. So right now
right.
there's a ton of shows I've been watching, my mom and
There
I
you go.
been. So
That's
yeah.
fun. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, I get caught up in sports a lot. I do a lot of sports, and it was football season up until February, so I was watching a lot of football and I was watching a lot of basketball. And now that everything's starting to cut. Now I watched a lot of the Winter Olympics. I was watching curling a lot. As weird as that sounds, but it just catches your eye. You're just like, I was trying to figure out for about a week and a half. I was trying to figure out how the scoring worked. I'm just trying to learn as I watched, and then finally I figured that out. And then it was kind of I was watching the strategy, but yeah, I love the speed skating. I was watching a lot of speed skating, so
Oh, cool.
yeah, I'm a competition fanatic. Like I can watch anybody compete at anything, and just
Yeah,
is I feel like it's the ultimate reality TV because you don't know what's really going to happen, right? So you're watching
yeah,
to see who's gonna compete hard and persevere, whatever the stuff is. So it's always my thing.
yeah.
I'm a sports guy.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you could give someone in your life a star on the Walk of Fame, who
Ooh.
would it be?
Probably. Well, if anyone for just being who they are in life, or anyone
Yeah,
for the profession, for life, my
I
wife.
mean either one.
Okay, I would choose my wife. My wife is a superhero. she is, so my wife had scoliosis as a child. She was a gymnast and they moved, and so she took a year off of gymnastics and her scoliosis took over her body and crushed along and bent up her body. So she's been through 3 back surgeries. She's got 4 titanium rods in her back with only 1 moving vertebrae, and she deals usually in some kind of pain constantly. And this is, she's 25 years in since her last surgery, and she has never let any of that like keep her from doing anything she wants to do. We met riding dirt bikes. She was riding motorcycles with rods in her back. She was a stilt walker and a power skipper for Disney. She did balloon art. She would travel around the nation doing basketball games and doing the t-shirts and the stilt walking and the crowd interaction. And then she had 2 kids, and she put everything on the back burner so she could be home with the kids, and I could do uh, the TV and film business. And then she homeschooled the kids until they were in the 4th grade, and then she put them in school, and then she volunteers with my daughter at her gymnastics, or now my daughter's in the band, or my son was in volleyball, and she's always there for them all the time. And she puts everybody else first, and she never complains. And she's a rock. She's the toughest person I've ever met in my life. And so just for everything that she's done and been through and supported me as I've been either on the road or at home working long hours, she's like, hey, you need to go do that. That's what you do. And so she takes care of everything at the house. And when I'm not able to do it, she's my rock. So I would give her the star for sure.
I love that.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah. I'm
She's the
so
rom-com. She's a
yeah.
walking rom-com.
I love that. Yeah, I'm so sorry she went through all of that, and she
Yeah,
sounds amazing.
she is amazing. And you think back and you're like, I totally wish that she didn't have to deal with the pain she's in, but you find out who you are when you have to deal with certain things, and you grow through these painful times in your life. And so would she be who she is without having to go through that? I don't know, but I'm completely grateful and blessed for who she is, and how she's, not necessarily how she's got there, but how it's developed her into who she is. And so yeah, I love her just the way she is. And so I don't wish the pain on her at all, but I'm so happy with the way she's dealt with everything and persevered. So it's great.
Oh, I love
Thank you.
that. Yeah. Yeah, that is, I love
Thank
that,
you.
the rom-com.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's all about it. She thinks I'm not funny enough. She says she's the funny one, and she, what do they call me, buzzkill? I would always be the buzzkill at the party. She's like, oh, you're buzz. She made me a shirt that said buzzkill because I'm the entertainer that's not funny, and she's the one that's all like it has all the humor. So
I love that.
it's fun.
Yeah, so if you had a warning label, what would yours be?
Ooh, um, uh, probably warning corrosive material. I've got so my body's breaking down. No, I guess may explode at any moment. I do have I I'm I'm pretty even tempered until, and I handle big situations very well. But when little things stack up on me, I lose my cool, and my wife has to calm me down, because like, and driving is the worst, because it's not just the one person that may cut you off in traffic. It's like the 10th time you get cut off in traffic, and then I lose it on every. I'm like yelling at through the windshield, and she's like, Jeremy, stop. And I'm like, I just can't take all of it. So yeah, my fuse it's, I don't know if it's relatively short, but it when it happens, it's gone quick.
Yeah. Um, so, what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Ooh, it would be an action rom-com.
I like
It would
that.
have to be an action rom-com, because I'm only involved in the action, and my wife brings all the rom-com. So every time I'm home, it's a rom-com, and then I have to go out and get some action in. And so we maybe it's just checking the mail. I have to fight a dog or something, and then come back in, and we have more rom-com. That's kind of how our house works.
I love that. Yeah,
Right?
always wanted my life story to be a musical rom-com. So,
Oh, musicals. Yeah. See,
yeah.
I'm not a musical person at all. Like, I love music and I can't do musicals because I don't like when people sing where it's not in play. Well, I think we talked about this at breakfast one time.
Think
When I
so.
met you, we were talking. Yeah, I was like, I can deal with the music if it's supposed to be there. Like, if they're doing music, then that's fine. But if somebody just breaks out into song, like, um, what's I guess even Mary Poppins, I'm like, they're singing when they don't need to be. I don't need to be told the story through song. You know, so- my daughter saw Cats and she was a little baby. She was probably 4 years old. She's like, I wish they would stop singing and just act. I was like, I know, me too. But now she loves musicals. My daughter's a big musical fan. And I'm like, oh, really? But she's in the band in the color guard now, so she's got a lot of friends that like musicals too. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm not music. That's funny.
Yeah. You see, I wish life was you just broke into song.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
think I'm scared of that. I think I have a fear of that because I'm so bad of a singer that if everyday life had to break into song, I would just be embarrassed all the time.
I can't sing either, so
Oh
but
yeah,
still it doesn't stop me. I still
there
want
you go.
my musical moment.
Nice, awesome. I think
So
you should take every musical moment you can get.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so if you had to choose a theme song that plays every time you enter a room,
Mm.
what would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a tough one too. See, I'm a big 80s rock kind of guy. So I'm thinking about all the 80s songs. That and but none of them, I don't know if they all describe me. It's just I like to listen to them. I don't know. It's weird. Um, Probably Welcome to the Jungle because from Guns N' Roses because my life is so chaotic all the time. Because we fly by the seat of our pants. My wife's always like, for us to make plans to go somewhere and do something for like a trip or something like that. I'm like, yeah, if I'm not working, or yeah, if it doesn't work out, because it's hard for me to schedule anything when I don't know when my next job's going to be. Because I'm usually working on something for a week here, or a week there, or a month here, or something like that. And so I don't know when the next job is going to be, and I don't want to miss out on those opportunities when they arise. So yeah, our life is scheduling wise is that's why she's the rock. She handles all the scheduling, and she's like, if you're here, I need you to do this. If you can't and you're out, then I'll figure something else out. And I'm like, okay. So when I'm home, I'll handle everything I can handle. But when she knows that at the drop of a hat, like, hey, can you be here Thursday? I'm like, yep, I'll be there Thursday, and then I just go do it. And so she picks up all that slack. So I probably make it a jungle for her to walk through for sure. But
Oh,
yeah,
I love that. Yeah. So I just have a few more questions if
yeah,
that works for you.
okay.
Um, so what's your favorite way to unwind after a hectic day?
Ooh, we like I said, we do like to do a movie, chill out, watch a movie. Or like I said, if nobody's home, I'll watch some sporting event. I'll watch a basketball game, or I'll watch Supercross for the motocross racing, or I'll watch, like I said, whatever it happens to be in season at that time. That will be my way to do it. If the family's home, we'll try to find a movie that everybody wants to watch, and it's usually something that I've seen before. That's an 80s movie that nobody, it's obscure, and they don't remember it. And my wife doesn't remember it. My kids have never seen it. And so we'll watch something from that just because it's like it's hard to let things go from your childhood that you're like, man, that was really good. Let's watch that. And so I do that again. So it's
Yeah.
usually something like that.
Yeah.
Some movie that is 40 years old and probably wasn't as great as I remember it being great, but I love it anyway.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, so what is the best advice you have ever gotten?
Uh, Best advice I've ever gotten was you can't like so in the stunt business, you're it's there's no agents or anything like that. So stunt coordinators hire the stunt people, right? And so as you're building your network of people you know or know what you can do, you're trying to um, build uh, trust in the industry of people that know what you can do, people that would give you opportunities to do what you can do, and things like that. And so, as a young stunt performer, you're trying really hard to let people know who you are. And I was told you can't ever convince somebody of how good you are by your words. Um, because the more you're talking yourself up and talking about yourself, the more people are going to like doubt what you can really do because the more you talk about it, the more it seems bravado and not really substance. So he's like, just let your actions do the talking. Like, take the opportunities that are given, knock that one out of the park, and then it'll grow. And so it's the business is like a snowball. So you start with your little snowball, you're packing all your tools together and your skills, and you pack it in a little snowball, and hopefully eventually it gets to be big enough where you're rolling it in the snow, and then gravity takes cells and it's rolling downhill on its own if you can, kind of deal. And so but you just want to start with that small snowball and just keep packing on snow and just keep taking opportunities and doing your best with them. And if you're doing your best, um whether like obviously you don't want to be a failure, but some people are gonna be happy with what you do, and some people may not be happy with what you do. And as long as you're giving it your full effort, you're giving it you train for it, you do your best, you get there, you do the best of your ability, then that's all you can do is your best. If they weren't happy with it, you can't be too concerned with they weren't happy with what happened because you did your best. You can only do your best. And so if you're always doing your best, more times than not, you're going to come out on top and on ahead. So just um, do your best. Don't try to convince other people that how good you are by your words.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Um, yeah, so my final question for you is today, what are you most grateful for?
What am I most grateful for? I am most grateful for meeting my wife and building a family with her and that kind of stuff. As a family, I'm grateful for being blessed enough that I have made a living in this career, especially for as long as I have, because I don't feel like I've worked. I've put in the work, but I don't feel like I've worked. Like I feel like I enjoy what I do so much that it doesn't feel like a job. And so I've been able to pretend and play and enjoy the people I work with, and especially the people I work with. I've worked with so many people repetitively on different shows, and they feel like family to me. And so if I'm working on a project with the people I enjoy being around and making enough money to provide for my family, then that's the dream. And it's like I said, it doesn't feel like work. I've been blessed to really love my profession and my job. And obviously there's aspects that you wish weren't the same, but overall I've thoroughly enjoyed being able to do what I do and provide for my family and have my family be a part of it on occasion, when I can bring the kids out or they share in the final product when we go watch a movie and stuff like that. And so my son now wants to get into stunts, so we're starting the training process with him and seeing what he'll be able to do. So maybe I'll be doing my profession with him, in not too distant future. So we'll see how it works out.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was my final question for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. I've loved talking with you again. It was so fun meeting you in LA, and I'm so happy to be talking with you again. So
It
thank
was
you.
it was a true pleasure, Maya. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you inviting me on and doing this. Like I said, not done a lot of interviews. Most of my stuff is all action based. It's physical, and so words really aren't my thing. But you made it very easy. So I thank you for the time.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
I appreciate it. You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest with Maya.
Latest with Maya.
Yeah.
It's the latest with Maya.